The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic High School sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formalware. Thank you for supporting Dowling Catholic Sports on Iowa Catholic Radio.
And good morning and welcome to the Girls State Basketball Tournament here in downtown Des Moines as we get set for our coverage of Dowling Catholic girls basketball. And this morning it's Dowling and Johnston for the third time this year as we are courtside here at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. And this is the kickoff game. Tips off the whole week of Girls State Tournament basketball. Jimmy Cataldo joins me, Mark Amadale here courtside. Coach, welcome. And is this a little too close for you? Because one thing you have to do, we got to guard the equipment because we are literally 3 feet off the sideline here.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, to be courtside in an environment like this, certainly gets everything ramped up a little bit. Student sections are filling in on both sides. The Dowling students were able to get out a little bit early to get down here, but all of these kids have to get back to school by 1 o'clock. So both sides are filling in for a 5A game at 10 a.m. in the morning, and should be a great and exciting environment.
Yeah, 5A kicks off the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Back in the old days, it was 1A all the way through the classes, where the large schools not playing until Wednesday, but they changed that format several years ago. So we're tipping it off early. Breakfast at Wells Fargo Arena, and Jimmy, it's the rematch. Dowling and Johnston for the third time. Johnston winners of the CIML Central Conference, of which Dowling belongs. And Dowling and Valley finished tied for second, but this Johnston team 23-0 coming into the contest, and what a streak they're on. They've won 40 of their last 41 games. They've only been beaten by the Waukee Warriors twice, and Dowling Catholic, the year Johnston won their first title back in 2020, Dowling beat them, and that was their last loss before that. So there's a lot of things going on with this game, and hard to beat a team 3 times. You hear that, not so much in football, Jimmy, but you hear that certainly in basketball. So this will be a tough challenge for Dowling.
Extremely tough, and it just shows you how you play the regular season and how every game matters. And certainly Dowling gets an 8 seed out of 8 teams here down at Wells Fargo, and it really is how they finished the season, losing their last 3 games, really slotted them into an 8 seed where they probably, had they pushed 1 or 2 of those wins, or a much higher seed, 6, 5, maybe up to a 4, but certainly in a position as an 8 seed, and it sets up a David and Goliath situation here at Wells Fargo.
No question about it. The Maroons have accomplished 5 state titles in their history. This is their 23rd state tournament appearance. And the Maroons come in winning 4 of their 7 games, went right through the regional bracket and defeating, obviously, Waukee Northwest to get here last Tuesday night. So, and the Maroons, they played a tough schedule in their own right. They're 8-6 against top 15 teams within the rankings of Class 5A. And, of course, Johnson's ran the table. They played, I believe, 15 or 16 top 10 teams, and they played a very strong schedule. Their closest win was, I think, 11-point win over number 1 Dallas Center Grimes, who's going to play in the 4A state tournament. That was their closest win right before Christmas. So their average wins for the Dragons have been over 30 points a contest, and they've certainly handled Dowling in the previous 2 matchups.
Certainly have mowed through their regular season, and as you said, it isn't that they played a bunch of cupcakes. 14 of their wins came over teams with winning records. And then 8 of their total wins have come against qualified 2022 state tournament teams, including Dowling twice. So, Johnston has certainly made a real case for their number 1 seed being undefeated, but certainly with the play of their team. And we talked about this over the last 2 games. Their bench is almost as good as their starters, and that's what makes them good.
Yeah, you mentioned Johnston's bench, and of course it's going to be key for both sides and Dowling's bench. But you look at Molly Nelk. Now here's a young lady who comes in, leads the team in 47 made threes off the bench, and her and Dowling's Marin Heller, a freshman, kind of do that. They could both start for many teams, but they're the 6th person for their respective teams. But I always like to have a gal like Nelk, a 5'8 junior coming in, second or third leading scorer, leads the team in threes, and field goal efficiency. And that's something you see, combine 3-pointers and 2-pointers, and she's one of the top leaders there. And I'll tell you what, Jimmy, when you get a gal like that, she's first in field goal efficiency with 64%, and she's first in three-point percentage is Nelk. But she comes off the bench. So that's a different matchup once you get in the flow of the game. Now, all of a sudden, if you're the opponent, today Dowling, you got to kind of change things like, oh, Nelk's in the game, here we go. Got a little different format.
Well, I don't think you change of who you are, and what Dowling provides is what makes them special, and it's their tough man-to-man defense, which has to be on point tonight, regardless of who's in the game. And as they go to the bench, you may think that you're maybe getting a lower-tier player, and in fact, you're not. So it's going to take a lot of effort out of the Maroons tonight or today, and if they can eke things out and get this game to the fourth quarter, they got a chance. The problem being over the last 2 games against Johnston, it's the way the Maroons have started. In game 1 versus Johnston got out to a 16-2 margin in the first quarter. In the second game they played, Johnston got out to a 16-4 margin after the first quarter. So certainly the Maroons have not started well against Johnston, so that's certainly going to be a key tonight is can you get off to a fast start if you're the Maroons, and can you hold it up?
This morning, you mean?
I know. I get, this 10 a.m. game just kind of rattles me a little bit. I got to think about work this afternoon.
Normally you're in the car traveling to some part of desolate the state of Iowa, either Sioux City or Council Bluffs, whatever. But now we're courtside this morning. Girls State basketball tournament. A lot of folks listening, I know, at their workstations or through the radio, and we appreciate that. IowaCatholicRadio.com or the app. We're going to take a break here in our pregame show. It's Dowling and Johnston, Girls State basketball, first round coverage, the first game of the tournament, and we'll be back with our starting lineups as our pregame show continues this morning from Wells Fargo Arena. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. The other Jimmy, the one and only Jimmy Olsen, is our studio producer, and we'll be back after these messages.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
And we're back here at Wells Fargo Arena this morning as we have Girls State basketball coverage here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. We preempt our regular programming and ceremonies going on before to this morning's game. And one of the recognition is for the Sportsmanship Award to each team. And for Dowling, the one and only Kevin Oddie. His kids all went through. I think you coached a few of them, Jimmy. And yep. Kevin is the Dowling recipient of the Sportsmanship Award. And congratulations to Kevin. All the work he does, we see him every Friday night. He's always got that scorebook.
And his volunteering with the MBA program.
That's right.
The junior high program for several years now.
Congratulations. And we're seeing that now. And I think the Johnston Award going to one of the Nelks, the Nelk family, and they get all these folks are recognizing behind the scenes, doing a lot to strengthen each school, and now they take the floor. Now we're going to have the introduction of the teams. And, Jimmy, let's take a look at the starting lineups this morning. We'll start with Dowling Catholic. They are the visitors. We're in their road maroon uniforms and white numbers. The head coach is Kristen Meyer, and in her 6th year at Dowling Catholic, 106 wins, 32 losses, and Maroons will start this lineup at the point guard will be Ava Zediker, a 5'9 freshman. She's Dowling's leading scorer, averaging 13 points, and leads the team with 48 made threes. She'll wear number 13. The second guard is Julia Moore, a 5'4 junior, and we'll talk more about her a little bit later. But Julia, 6'7", averaging 6.5 points. She's a 5'4 junior, wearing number 21. And the third guard is Layla Tritton, a 5'8 freshman, averaging 5 points on the season. She'll wear number 45. At one forward, Lauren Frericks, a 5'10 junior, and Lauren will wear number 25. And at center for Dowling, the team leader in the state, in Class 5A in total rebounds and in offensive and defensive rebounds, and that's Emma Gipple. Set the Dowling record earlier this year for the all-time rebounding mark at Dowling. Emma's a 5'10 senior, averaging 9.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, leads the team in assists and blocks, and Gipple wore number 23. So it'll be Zedeker, Moore, Tritton, the three guards for Dowling, with Frericks and Gipple in the middle. Dowling's ranked 9th. Their record's 18-6, and they come in averaging 51 points on offense, and they give up just under 39 points on defense. Maroons coaching staff, head coach Kristen Myers, we mentioned earlier, Joel Danner and Audrey Faber round out the Maroon lineup. And now for the home team on the scoreboard, and that will be the Johnston Dragons. They come in ranked number 1 with a record of 23-0. They've won 40 of their last 41 games. And they will start this lineup at one guard, Zoe Buchan, a 5'5 senior, and she'll wear number 4. The second guard is Anna Gosling, a 5'7 senior. She'll wear number 20. The third guard is Aaliyah Riley, a 5'7 sophomore. She'll wear number 22. At one forward, Eileen Tankey, a 5'11 sophomore, wearing number 30. And at center, a young lady who's going to be going to the University of Iowa, first-team All-Stater, and that is Jada Gyamfi, a 6'2 senior, and she'll wear number 42. So it'll be Buchan, Gosling, Riley, along with Tankey and Gyamfi. Johnston coached by head coach Chad Jellick in his 11th year, 189 wins, 52 losses. He led Johnston to the 2020 state championship at this school. So, Jimmy, let's look at the starting lineups. Johnston comes in averaging 70 points on offense. They give up 36.5 points on defense. So both teams give up in the 30s defensively. What are some of the keys you see here this morning for Dowling to be successful against this Johnston team, where they're playing for the third time this year, and Johnston's won the first two?
Well, I think it's going to be so important that Dowling, as I mentioned earlier, is get off to a fast start. Push this game into the fourth quarter and stay out of foul trouble. They just, the last two games, again, 16-2 margin in the first quarter, 16-4 margin in the first quarter in game 2. So got to get off to a fast start. Win the turnover battle. In those two games, Dowling lost both the turnover battles. Have to win the turnover battle, handling their man-to-man. And then I mentioned before, it's David versus Goliath. The Maroons come in here with nothing to lose. They're the 8th seed. Johnston is number 1 in the state, undefeated. The Register has pinned them as the potential being the first undefeated 5A girls basketball team. So they certainly have a lot on their shoulders. But the Maroons come in here, play loose, and they have nothing to lose. For Johnston, they got to continue to shoot well. They're number 1 in the state in shooting field goal percentage. If they continue to shoot the ball well, it's going to be tough for the Maroons. Out-rebound Dowling, keep Gipple off the boards. Both those games that they played earlier in the year, they out-rebounded the Maroons. And then, as I mentioned, they got to handle the headlines. And what does that mean? Handle the pressure that the Des Moines Register threw at them as being the first potential 5A undefeated team going wire to wire. This could be this Johnston team. It could be their year.
All right, Jimmy, as pregame introductions going on, good thing they do in the girls' state tournament, they introduce everybody from the first person on the bench to the last person, and they have just got done doing that. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back with our tip-off between Dowling and Johnston as we are courtside here at Wells Fargo Arena this morning. It's Dowling and Johnston playing in the first round of the Class 5A state basketball tournament. Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. I want to thank Jimmy Olson back at the studios of Iowa Catholic Radio. I want to thank everybody for donating to Iowa Catholic Radio last week during the Carathon, and we'll return after these messages.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
So, why has the Catholic Church done so many bad things?
If your math teacher illustrated that 2 + 2 is 4 by forcing each student to drink 4 gallons of milk, it doesn't mean that the math is wrong when you throw up. Was the teacher abusing his authority and wounding with the truth instead of healing? Probably, but what he taught was still true and still good. So the church offers and teaches only what is true and good, even if the sinners within the church don't live it out. And coming to that, even if we haven't thrown the whole church into scandal, we are all still sinners. So maybe the more appropriate question is, how is the Catholic Church still good when I've done so many bad things? Since we're all one body in Christ, our sin affects everyone and can even lead others to sin. Lucky for us, Christ came to save us from our sin and gave us the church to do it. So let's stop sinning and be the church to others. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youngcatholicminute.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School, and welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School basketball. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting basketball, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Ryan Andrew, and I'm the chaplain at Dowling Catholic High School. Let us pray for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask you to bless all those involved in this athletic competition tonight. We ask that you keep them safe, and that they all show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord, amen. All holy men and women, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
And we are back here courtside at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines as we preempt regular programming here this morning here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Hamadil, Jimmy Cataldo, as we bring you coverage of the Girls State Basketball Tournament from Wells Fargo Arena. Dowling and Johnston just about ready to tip it off. And Jimmy, Dowling all set, ready for the challenge, taking on the Dragons for the third time this year, as you mentioned, and we've mentioned the last two meetings during the regular season, home and home. Johnston won both games 57-41 at Dowling back on January 31st, and just a few weeks ago 60-28 at Johnston during the final regular season game. So here we go.
Just got to handle their man-to-man pressure and force Johnston to come off and double team and finding the open girls on the sides.
All right, the Dragons win the tip, and they get a shot from the top of the key. It's no good. And that was Elia Riley who with the miss. Rebound comes out to Dowling. Maroons go right to left. They go towards the south basket here at Wells Fargo Arena. And looks like the Dragons will stay man-to-man defense. Here's Julia Moore with it. In the lane, has the ball poked away, and it goes out of bounds. And they'll give it to Dowling. Now Julia's wearing padding around her left knee as she locked knees with one of the players during practice yesterday, and it's very tender, but she's going to give it a go.
Well, it'll just be interesting to watch her movement, and her importance becomes taking the ball to the basket, and if her speed is there, it may help, but if she's slowed down, it may hurt the Maroons.
All right, Dowling with the ball. They try to get it underneath. Frerich's pass underneath to Gipple. It's stolen away by Johnston as they poke it away. Dragons with it. It's Aaliyah Riley, Anna Gosling, Zoe Buchan, the three guards, along with Eileen Tanky and Jada Jimphy. And they're just begging Aaliyah Riley to shoot the basketball.
You can see Zedekers playing off Riley just to give help down in the post to Jimphy, which Jimphy has definitely hurt the Maroons over the last two games.
A little bit different wrinkle for Dowling and their defense against Jimphy, who's going to Iowa next year. A long three up and no good, that time by Eileen Tanky. So the Dragons 0 for 2 from the field. And the rebound out to Dowling. Here's Moore in the front court to Gipple, guarded by Jimphy. Gipple in the lane, drives around her, puts up a shot, too strong, no good, and a rebound Johnston and Tanky. So notice Dowling trying to attack Jimphy in the second possession. Now they're just begging Riley to shoot. She goes around, her shot up, no good, rebound might have been partially blocked. Rebound Gipple and Dowling.
It's a nice game plan is to really force. Look, can you hit the shots? If you can hit the shots and beat us, then have at it. But right now they're going to force them to hit the three-point shot, which Johnston has not been able to do that yet.
Now Zedeker gets loose underneath. Her shot up and no good. And right in front of us, a three-pointer good by Gosling in transition. So it's 3-0 Johnston. Little transition three by the Dragons, 3-0. Over Dowling, and the Maroons with it underway. 5:40 left, first quarter. The Girls State Basketball Tournament here at Wells Fargo Arena, downtown Des Moines. City of Des Moines will be packed here the next couple weeks with out-of-towners. Here's Zedeker with it, guarded by Jimphy. Now Zedeker looks to head coach Kristen Meyer, and they'll call set play. Zedeker fakes the three, now has to eat the basketball and gives it up to Tritton in the corner. Ball slapped around. Here's Frerichs with it, guarded by Tanky. Now underneath, Zedeker with it. In the corner goes to Tritton. Layla spins, leaves it for Zedeker for three, up and short. Ball slapped around and in the hands of Buchan. So Maroons are getting good looks, but can't get anything to fall, and that's kind of the MO when you play Johnston. Everything's a struggle offensively against their defense.
A little disoriented on that last possession. The Maroons weren't looking really good at their best shot.
Now Gosling gets underneath her, shot up and good. 5-0 now Johnston, and Gosling with all 5 of Johnston's points. 4.5 minutes left first quarter. Dowling with the ball. Here's Gipple in the corner. Gets it to Moore for 3. It's no good. And the rebound, Tanky. Riley with it. Outlet pass. Goes to Riley. In the corner it goes to Gosling for 3. Good. And Dowling's going to need a timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout. Gosling with all 8 of Johnston's points, and it's 8-0.
The Maroons' game plan so far is to play back on Gyamfi, allow Riley to shoot the ball from the outside, which has really taken away Gyamfi and is really putting pressure on Riley. But right now, Gosling has been the one who's put the dagger in the heart right now of the Maroons. Trying to find her through their offensive set has been a challenge, and I believe you got Moore on her, and Moore does seem a little bit hobbled with that upper thigh, or upper knee injury she took at practice.
This morning's game here on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates. And we want to thank everyone who pledged their support to Iowa Catholic Radio. We are listener-supported, and you can still do that. You can donate and pledge at iowacatholicradio.com. Just click on the donate button. And we just finished our spring carathon last week, and we thank all those who helped make and continue to make our goal. I didn't see your name on the list.
I'm on that list.
You're on the list. Okay. I knew you were on a different list, but that's okay.
They always misspell it.
Oh, my goodness. It's a technicality. 8-0 Johnston. All 8 points scored by Anna Gosling, the 5'7" senior for the Dragons, as the Maroons have neutralized thus far Jada Gyamfi, the University of Iowa recruit. Underneath, and Moore shot up and no good. Fight for the rebound, and Gipple had it. And they say she had it but fell on the baseline out of bounds. It'll be Johnston basketball. And the Maroons now, what are they, 0 for 4 from the field, something like that?
0 for 5 from the field right now. 3 2-point shots, 2 3-point shots, and just tough time finding the basket. But continue to attack, force a foul at some point.
Dragons with the basketball. With it is Eiley Tanky. Dribbles against Frericks. Can't get the pass off. Now ball poked away by Frericks. And now Gyamfi has it.
Putting Zedeker now on Gosling. Maybe give a little bit more quick defense.
Buchan in the lane. Her shot up and no good. Drew the foul. And Zoe Buchan, 5'5" senior, headed to Wisconsin River Falls to play Division III basketball. Will go to the free throw line. Foul on Dowling. See who they gave it to. It's the first free throw good by Buchan. This morning's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One. Second free throw up and rolls off the rim, no good. Rebound Dowling and Gipple. Dowling staying with their lineup as they did go, check that, they did go to a reserve as Heller back in the lineup. Marin Heller, freshman guard off the bench for Dowling. The first substitution for the Maroons at 5'4". So it's Frericks, Zedeker, Heller, Moore, and Gipple. The ball out of bounds, and it'll be Dowling basketball underneath.
Certainly an issue that Dowling's had in the last couple of times playing Johnston is not being able to beat their defender off the dribble. And, Johnston plays so good defense up top, man-to-man, that the Maroons struggle to beat them to the basket. So Johnston does not have to bring any help defense, which that is a big part of Dowling's offense.
All right, Dowling inbounds the ball, and Gyamfi taps it into the backcourt. So Frericks retrieves it, and now here is Gipple for 3, top of the key. It's no good, and a rebound Johnston. And Riley with it. Cold shooting for the Maroons. 9-0 is our score. 2:45 remaining here in the first quarter. Johnston with the lead. And now we got traveling on Riley. Good defense that time by the Maroons.
Maroons got to find a way just to, chip into this 9-point lead. 2:40 left to go in the first quarter. We talked about getting off to a fast start, and right now the Maroons are not getting into that fast start. So hopefully they'll find some easy buckets here with the remaining 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And we mentioned Marin Heller in for Dowling. She replaced Tritton underneath. The shot by Gipple's no good. Drew the foul, and that'll be on Gyamfi. So Jada, the University of Iowa recruit picks up her first foul and Johnston's first foul of the morning.
It's the third time they've taken Gymphy to the basket hard, and it's the first time she's fouled, so you can see that's probably a key to Dowling is take the ball right at Gymphy and hopefully force her into some foul trouble early in the game.
So Emma Gipple hits the first point of the morning for Dowling, as the first free throw is good. And the second one up and good. 9-2 is our score. Johnston with the lead over Dowling here in the first quarter. Mark Amadeo, Jimmy Cataldo, courtside here at Wells Fargo Arena. Not a bad first round game as far as a crowd, as both Johnston and Dowling packing the lower bowls. You can hear the Dowling fans behind us. They're the visitors. They sit right behind press row. Dragons with it. Here's Gosling with it. Lisa for Riley. Now skip pass over to the left side, nearly stolen away, and finally is Frericks with the steal right in front of Emma Hampton, who just checked in for Johnston. Nice job by Frericks reading that play. Now Dowling in the front court. Here is down the lane, shot up and good. Frericks makes the steal, now the first field goal for Dowling, and the score's 9-4 Johnston.
Find those easy baskets. The Maroons must take the ball to the basket. Don't settle for the three-point shot, and that's what the Maroons have done the last two times down the court and have accounted for 4 points.
Molly Nelk in the lineup for Johnston. She's being guarded by Zedeker. That's a great matchup. We already talked about Nelk. Now in the lane, a shot up and too strong, no good by Riley. Rebound Johnston. They get the offensive board. Minute 20 remaining in the first quarter. 9-4, Johnston over Dowling. Dragons have it going left to right towards the north basket. Gymphy down the lane and drew the foul, and that'll be on Gipple. So Emma picks up her first foul.
I believe that one went on Moore.
They get Julia for the reach in. We'll see. Well, they haven't posted anything.
They don't have anything posted on the boards. I thought this was big time down here. There's nothing on the boards.
You show up and everything's out the window.
We just have a total score and a time clock.
Yeah, no individual scoring. I keep that. So we'll figure out the fouls. They'll get that all worked out. Jerry Kinder and all the folks at the girls union do a great job. Minute to play, and it's 9-4 Johnston. They inbound the ball. This is like their third possession in this possession. Now the ball's stolen away by Frericks into the hands of Gipple. Here's Zedeker with it. Dowling running. Chance to cut into Johnston's 5-point lead. Moore on the baseline. And her shot up and draws the foul. And 2 free throws coming for Julia Moore. And the foul will be on Emma Hampton. So Julia Moore, the junior for Dowling at the free throw line. She'll have 2 free throws here. And the first one up and off the mark, no good.
Julia just shooting 46% from the free throw line this year. Been to the line 48 times, or 48 shots, converting 22 of them.
This morning's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Dental Associates. Also brought to you in part by Mercy One and Catholic Tuition Organization. The second free throw rolls in and out, no good. Julia 0 for 2 at the line. Rebound Johnston. 9-4 is our score. Final 35 seconds of the first quarter here at Wells Fargo. Now we've got a 5-second call on Johnston, and that's pretty good defense. Yes, you do have the 5-second call in Iowa high school basketball, girls and boys. Not in college anymore, but Heller defensively putting the pressure on.
Just fantastic by Heller, as I believe it was, Ballsy was driving the ball around the three-point arc, but she stuck with her into a depth where they can count and aided the 5-second violation.
Isabella Ballsy, you mentioned Ballsley, a 5'6" sophomore, coming in off the bench for head coach Chad Jellick and the Johnston Dragons. Committed the turnover. Dowling with the ball. Final 10 seconds of the first quarter. Heller with the basketball. Tries to work the right side. She does. A little shot up and good off the glass. I think Eileen Tankey gave up on her scoring. Johnston down court, and they can't get a shot off. So we're at the end of the first quarter with the score. Johnston 9, and Dowling scoring the last 6 points of the first quarter.
Tremendous patient play by Heller as she attacked the basket. As they double team, she took one step back. The help went away, and then she attacked man-to-man, found the seam to the basket to score.
And we'll take a break with Johnston leading Dowling 9-6 at the end of the first quarter here at Wells Fargo Arena, here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list.
Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Golden Rule Heating and Cooling. Since 1999, Golden Rule Heating and Cooling has been supporting customers with their rules to live by: respect, understanding, loyalty, expertise, and service. GoldenRulePHC.com.
Hey, we're back here at Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. Glad you could join us for morning basketball, the first round of the girls' state basketball tournament. Reminder, tomorrow night we'll be on the air at 6:45 for boys' sub-state final basketball. The Dowling boys will play Johnston for the third time this year, and we'll be down in Enola for the ball game, so join us tomorrow night. But Jimmy, not a bad first quarter. Dowling gave up the first 9 points. They scored the last 6, though, and it's 9-6 as the Maroons had the first possession of the second quarter.
Fought back to a 40% shooting in the first quarter, 0 for 3, however, from the three-point arc.
Here's Gipple with it, has the ball poked away nicely by Anna Gosling and picked up by the Dragons. Here's Buchan with it, so Maroons start with a turnover to start the second quarter. Gymphy for 3, rolls off the rim, no good, and a rebound Dowling and Lauren Frericks.
Gymphy, one of the top three-point shooters in the state, and Maroons certainly got lucky on that one because that was a wide-open look.
So it's Zedeker, Heller, Frericks, Gipple, and Julia Moore, and we've got carrying the ball on Dowling as the ball got tipped, and then Heller with the carrying call, turnover against the Maroons. So the Maroons come out with 4 of their 5 starters as Tritton on the bench to start the second quarter. Look at the Johnston starters here. It's Buchan along with Aaliyah Riley. Eiley Tanky with it, top of the key. Gymphy still in there, and Gosling. Johnston running their dribble handoff, and they forced Tanky on a travel call. And you know who's been around all the turnovers for Johnston? Lauren Frericks.
Lauren Frericks has, and she jumped on the hedge pick and got Tanky up on a shot possibility, and she didn't let it go, and they called the turnover.
And now they're going to call a foul right here on Johnston as Eiley Riley, who's been all over Zedeker, just trying to deny her the basketball all morning, commits the foul there. And that is the game plan for Chad Jelic, is if you can keep Zedeker or get her shaken up as a freshman, you can go a long way with Dowling. They're trying to do that here, Jimmy.
Super good point. The Maroons are setting up 2 picks, trying to get Zedeker free, and Riley's just a real quick athlete and sticking with Zedeker throughout the offensive set.
Now here's Moore. Her shot glass good. And it's a 1-point lead now for Johnston, 9-8. And Julia Moore, bad knee and all, shoots and scores to start the second quarter. Dragons in transition. This is Riley with it. And they're going to let her shoot from three-point range. Nobody out guarding her.
They're begging Riley to shoot. Not only the student section, but the Dowling girls team. They're not within 5 feet of her, even as she's standing at the three-point arc.
I see some of those sweatshirts say Dowling sophomore football. What's that all about? You got something going on there, Cataldo?
Those are your guys. I'm curious to see if my son's at school or not.
Here's Johnson with the ball. Tanky with it. And leaves it in the lane. A shot in the lane is good by Riley. Nice pass inside. And Aaliyah Riley with her first basket. With a 5'7" sophomore in the Dragons. It's 11-8. Johnson with a 3-point lead. Maroons got it down to 1. Now they have the basketball in the corner. Heller for 3, up and bounces off the rim, and you got a whistle and a foul called on Johnston.
That's going to go against Buchan, pushing off Moore with the rebound
on a loose ball foul. So Buchan with her first foul that we know of. There we go. We got points and fouls up there, Coach.
Now they're up there, and then they go away.
All right, Dowling will inbound the ball. 5:35 remaining, second quarter. 11-8 is our score here at Wells Fargo Arena, downtown Des Moines. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. More underneath. Her shot up and no good. And Gyamfi with the foul, and that'll be her second, Jimmy.
Again, taking the ball hard to the basket. That's Julia's dominant side, the left side, so she feels most comfortable with that. Gyamfi coming over with the help. Gets a piece for her arm.
That is the fifth foul on Johnston, 2 on Dowling here in the first half. And Julia Moore back to the line. First free throw, good.
I think as this game has gone on a quarter and a half, certainly that any ailment to that left leg for Julia has softened up a little bit, loosened up. So she doesn't look too ailed out there and running pretty well.
All right, here's will be the test for Johnston. Their leading scorer and player, Jada Gyamfi, on the bench with 2 fouls. And now the second free throw, no good. And Moore hustled for it, and she's fouled as they dive for a loose ball. And Buchan will pick up her second foul. So 2 starters for Johnston with 2 fouls. What hustle by Moore, bad knee and all.
Has to be so frustrating for Coach Jillick, because that's the one thing you do is who's blocking out the shooter on free throws. And Johnston did not find Julia as she shot the ball and saw it come off the rim and went hard at it, drew the foul.
Dowling trailing by 2. Here's Zediker in the lane. Kicks it over in the corner to Heller. Nice recovery by Johnston. They get in Heller's face. Now Frericks for 3. Top of the key. It's no good. Rebound, Julia Moore. Another offensive rebound for Julia. Moore in the lane. Her shot is blocked, and free throws coming. Molly Nelk picking up the foul for Johnston. That'll be the Dragons' 16th foul.
And this is what I love about the game plan for the Maroons tonight is they went 0 for 3 in the first quarter from the three-point arc. This quarter, they're taking it hard to the basket, getting good shots, or drawing fouls.
And the first free throw, good by Julia Moore. She now has 4 points. This morning's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Dental Associates, and Construction Professionals. I want to thank Jimmy Olson back at the Iowa Catholic Radio studios for producing this morning's game as we preempt programming. Second free throw, in and out, no good by Moore. The ball goes out of bounds. They say it went off of either Moore or Heller. It'll be Johnston basketball.
That's a questionable call. Looked like 2 Johnston girls were right around the ball, but I think the call was Julia got her hand in there and knocked the ball out.
Approach the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. Johnston lead is now 1 again. 11-10 over Dowling Catholic. Dragons had the running clock in the last time these 2 teams met at Johnston, 60-28. And we got a timeout here called by Coach Jellick, and I believe this will be a 30. And we'll keep it here with 4:57 remaining here in the second quarter. It's Johnston 11, Dowling 10 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, courtside at Wells Fargo Arena. And brought you along. We're preempting programming on Iowa Catholic Radio to bring you from nighttime to prime time, Jimmy.
10 o'clock's prime time. I just say that's all good.
It always is.
The only difference is I got to go back to work, and I'm sure you don't.
I do. I'm going to go. I'll make an appearance.
Does the director know you're coming back to work?
He knows I'm here. They're listening, and they're laughing at you right now for making that.
I just want to make sure your pink slip is in today.
It was. Thanks for asking. You got statistics from the first quarter? I mean, we're halfway through the second quarter.
Sure. So the Maroons went 2 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three-point arc, 4 total rebounds, and 1 turnover, which is huge for the Maroons. Johnston, 1 of 3 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point arc, 6 total rebounds, and 4 turnovers.
And another turnover for Johnston there. They throw the ball, and they go over and back. So it'll be Dowling basketball, and Heller will throw it in right in front of us. It'll be Heller, Zediker, Julia Moore, Lauren Frericks, and Emma Gipple. And Dowling has not had to go to their bench much. Tritton is on the bench, one of the starters for Dowling. The Maroons have a chance here to take the lead for the first time, I think, this year. Here's a long 3, up and no good. Zediker with the rebound and fighting for it on the baseline. It goes out of bounds off of Ilea Riley. As Zediker came out of nowhere. She was in the other corner to shoot a 3. They went to the right side instead of left, and she crashed the boards.
Well, without Gyamfi in the lineup, certainly leaves the middle open for possible rebounds. And great job by Zediker finding the weak side.
There's Frericks underneath. A nice pass by Zediker. Her shot's no good. Drew the foul.
That one's going to be on Gosling.
It looks like it, yeah. So Anna Gosling will pick up her first foul. Team foul number 8 on Johnston. 4.5 minutes remaining, second quarter. Johnston 11, Dowling 10. Ferrich at the line. First free throw good. Dowling has tied the ball game, and that's Ferrich's first point. And Dowling's done this, Jimmy, at the free throw line. They are now 5 of 6 at the line this morning. 5 for their last 6. The second free throw is good, and ladies and gentlemen, Dowling has taken its first lead of the year over Johnston.
Got to say a fast start, build some confidence that you can stick with this team. And Johnston forcing to put Gymphy back in the lineup with 2 fouls and 4.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, you know, Dowling's next offensive possession, they're going to take it right to Gymphy, and they dive down into the paint. They lob it into Gymphy, and she draws a foul. The problem will it be Moore? I think it is. Julia will pick up the foul, and that will be her second foul, and that'll get Trenton into the game for her. So Layla Trenton, well rested, will come in for Julia Moore, as the Dragons will throw it in underneath their own basket, wearing their home white uniforms with purple letters and numbers. They lob it into Gymphy, and she leaves it inside to Riley. Her shot up and good. They double-team Gymphy, and she finds Riley for the basket.
Heller got caught on the opposite side, didn't give the help into the post, and Gymphy was able to get to the block, and it was all over from there.
13-12, Johnston takes the lead. Right back from Dowling. Bruins have it. Here's Zediker with it, right side to Heller. Heller works the right side, goes around Trenton, trying to find an angle. Now drives baseline, leaves it for Zediker. Zediker, pull-up jumper is no good. Rebound, Gipple, reverse layup up and good. Right around Gymphy, who's playing with 2 fouls.
Huge play by Gipple, getting the offensive rebound and took it right at Gymphy, who certainly went aggressive at her.
And now Johnson inbounds the ball quickly, Dowling with a 1-point lead, and a whistle and a foul on Trenton. And on Layla, that'll be her first. Substitution now for Johnston. Molly Nelk returns to the lineup. She'll replace Anna Gosling. Tanky will throw it in right in front of you, Mr. Cataldo, and now they get it into Buchan back in the ball game with 2 fouls. Over to Nelk, right side to Buchan. They look the lob inside, and they can't. Long 3 coming, no good by Riley. Offensive rebound Johnston, and a foul on Dowling as Gymphy got the offensive rebound, and she was fouled by Zediker.
It's interesting that they're guarding Zediker on Gymphy in the post, but they're getting help from Gipple on the opposite side of the free throw line. You know, that's when they get the ball, but Zediker is forced to block out Gymphy, and that strength that Gymphy has allowed her to get that offensive rebound.
And that free throw by Gymphy is good. That is her first point of the morning. Tied at 14, Dowling and Johnston. First round of the girls' Class 5A state tournament. Second free throw up, and no good. But the rebound out to Johnston. Tanky with it to Gymphy. Gymphy in the lane has the ball poked away by Gipple, but Gymphy runs it down. Now at the free throw line is Nelk. And Dowling stepped up their defense here in this second quarter. And now in the lane, a shot that rolls her off the rim. No good by Riley. Rebound Dowling. Here's Zediker with it. Guarded by Riley. Tied at 14. Under 3 minutes left. Heller with it for Dowling. Maroons going right to left towards the south basket here at Wells Fargo Arena. The lower bowls filled with Dowling and Johnston fans in the first round. Game 2 will be Pleasant Valley and City High of Iowa City. Now a long 3 by Zediker off the back iron. No good. And the rebound out to Tanky.
A little bit of a force by Zediker. Got the loose ball. Tough out of rhythm shot, but still was open and took it.
Now here's Gymphy in the lane. Changed hands and shoots it with the left hand. Good. And that's her first field goal of the morning. Jada Gymphy now with 3 points for the Dragons. 2:15 remaining in the half. Gymphy took it to Gipple, but she had help from Heller that time and couldn't knock the ball away. Dowling with the ball. Here's Heller with it. As we approach the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, pull-up jumper. Good! Well, nice little step back that time. You got that in your arsenal, Jimmy?
I don't have it, but certainly Marin Heller has had
Wow.
it. She's had it a few times this year, and such a talented move by a young freshman.
Heller with 4 points. In the lane, a shot up and no good, and Buchan draws the foul. Buchan playing with 2 fouls.
Myers questioning the call as Gipple was standing there still and didn't move and felt
Got to call that on Gipple. That'll be her second.
Felt Buchan came into Gipple, and Gipple was just standing there.
Now a free throw up by Buchan is good. Zoe Buchan, her dad's one of the assistant coaches for Johnston. Mark Hine, Brad Buchan, Jennifer Cook. Some gal named Ellie Ruffridge over there, too, for Johnston. Remember her?
Incredible player.
What a player. Pocahontas area is where she graduated high school, went down to Missouri State in Springfield. Played here a few times against Drake and went to Cedar Falls and played against Northern Iowa during her career.
She played a few times here in the state championship.
Yeah. Yes, she did. Second free throw good by Buchan. She now has 3 points. And it's 18-16. Johnston with the lead. 1:40 remaining here in the first half at Wells Fargo Arena, downtown Des Moines. Here's Fergus with it for Dowling. Backs in, gets caught on the left block. Now to Heller. Now they switch it over. Ellie Olsen in the lineup, and she travels with the basketball. Ellie's first appearance. Another freshman for the Maroons, 5'9" freshman. Rotates in the post, and that time caught with the traveling call. Didn't have a pivot foot established.
Olsen came in for Gipple, who had to go to the bench with 2 fouls. And she's probably down for the rest of the first half with 1:20 left.
Offense and defense, I think they'll bring her in if they get an opportunity. We'll see. Now they're going to let Riley shoot the 3, and she does. Well, she answered that bell, but it was late in the first half, and Ilea Riley with her first 3 of the contest for Johnston. She has all 7 points here in the second quarter. And the Dragons now up to a 5-point lead, 21-16 over Dowling. There's Tritton with it for the Maroons. Dribbles the left elbow, gets it out to Heller, top of the key with under a minute to play. Here's Frericks, long 3. It might have been partially blocked by Buchan. And out of bounds is Gipple as she caught the basketball, but she lost it.
It's one of those plays where Ellie Olsen's tangled up with Jimpy, and Jimpy, who gets caught because of the air ball, kind of throws Ellie to the ground, and nothing's called but the violation as the ball goes out of bounds. And it's awesome here that they throw the replay up, and I think many people saw what I think I saw.
Now Johnston with the ball. They work it underneath, pass to Jiffy into Emma Hampton. The 6'1" junior shoots and scores off the bench. And now the Dragons with a 7-point lead. They've led by as many as 9 back in the first quarter. Dowling's led by 1 here in the second quarter. And with 20 seconds remaining, Dowling with the ball trying to get the final shot of the second quarter. Here's Heller with it. She's caught and comes to a jump stop by Buchan. The Maroons will reset. Here's Zedeker with it with 10 seconds. Zedeker, guarded by Riley, has the ball poked away, gets it back, and draws the foul. They're going to call it on the floor. So this will be a 1-and-1, 19 foul on Johnston here, Jimmy.
Second foul on Riley, who was just smothering Zedeker on the Dowling's offensive side, as she has been tasked to guard Zedeker throughout the first half and has done a pretty good job just holding Zedeker. Actually, no points for Zedeker in the first half.
Ava's free throw rolls through. That is her first point of the morning. As the Maroons have had 5 players now score here in the first half. Zedeker's first point. Second free throw coming. 23-17 is our score. 20 and the rebounds off a missed shot. As Zedeker missed the second half-court shot up. Hits the rim. No good. That was a little closer.
That was close.
And we've come to the end of the first half with the score. Johnston 23, Dowling Catholic 17, alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale, as we are courtside here at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. And this is the opening game of the girls' state basketball tournament in town all this week. And the big schools start today. It's Dowling and Johnston, and the Dragons lead at 23-17 at the half. We'll take a break and come back with our first half statistics. Along with Jimmy Cataldo, I am Mark Amadale. Jimmy Olsen back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios, and we'll return to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines after these messages.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever noticed that the world associates fanaticism with religion? But G.K. Chesterton says that the strangest fanaticism that fills our time is the fanatical hatred of morality, especially of Christian morality. It is the irreligious who are fanatical in their hatred of religion. They hate religion because religion is the only basis for morality. They hate morality because it is clear. And they prefer things to be vague to the point where they can call wrongs rights. But we cannot call something a right when it defies God's laws. We can only call it a sin, because all rights come from God, and God is not going to break his own laws. Neither should we. Want more than a minute? Visit our website, chesterton.org.
And we're back here at Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. The 2022 Class 5A Girls State Basketball Tournament kicks it off this morning, Class 5A. And later on today, it'll be Class 3A. Game number 2 here this afternoon will be Pleasant Valley taking on Iowa City High. As the winner of the Dowling-Johnston game will face the winner of the City High and Pleasant Valley game. That'll be on Thursday at 10 o'clock. The other side of the bracket has Des Moines Roosevelt and West Des Moines Valley. They'll tip it off this afternoon at 1:30. The winner of that game will face the winner of Ankeny Centennial and Waterloo West. And that game will get underway around 3:15. That'll be the other side of the bracket. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, and Jimmy Dowling trailing here at halftime, 23-17. But the Maroons trailed 9-0. It didn't look good in the initial stages of this contest.
Well, they fought back. They went to the high percentage shots, attacked the basket, got Gympie on the bench with a little bit of foul trouble, and then took advantage of that. And at one point took a 1-point lead in the second half. But then things got away from them a little bit. They lost Gympie on the defensive end, which they've been doing a great job in the game plan on her. Riley hit a big wide open three, which they've been begging for her to shoot. And Riley also took a couple right to the basket. So they chipped away. But I think the Maroons are in a good position going into the halftime. They got to figure out what worked well for them in the first quarter, what didn't, and see if they can put together a run in the second half.
We'll take a look at the first half scoring here as we get the numbers totaled up. We'll start with Dowling Catholic. The Maroons were led in the first half by Emma Gipple with 6 points. She was followed by Julia Moore and Marin Heller off the bench with 4 points each. 2 points for Lauren Ferks and a pair of field goals for the Maroons, and 1 point for Ava Zedeker as Dowling went 5-9 at the free throw line. For the Johnston Dragons, Anna Gosling leading the way for the Dragons with 8 points, followed by Aaliyah Riley with 7. 3 points each for Jada Gympie and for Zoe Buchan, and 2 points for Emma Hampton. The Dragons go 4 of 6 at the free throw line. Johnston led 9-6 at the end of the first quarter, and they outscored Dowling in the second quarter 14-11 and lead it here at halftime 23-17. And Jimmy Cataldo, you got to look at some of the first half statistics.
Well, seeing that they handed these to us, I want to make sure that I'm right on this. But I had the Maroons shot 5 of 8 from the field, 62%. Shot 0 of 8 from the three-point arc, which obviously that seems to be an Achilles heel. Every time they play against Johnston, and they got to really look at that going into the second half. 9 total rebounds for the Maroons and 4 turnovers. For Johnston, they as well went 5 of 8 from the field, 62%, 3 of 7 from three-point arc, 42%, 9 total rebounds, and then 6 turnovers. We talked about the rebounding advantage. If Dowling could win there right now, they're pushing Johnston 9-9, but the Maroons are winning the turnover battle with 4 total turnovers in the first half compared to 6 from Johnston.
Yeah, we've had the score tied 3 times in the first half, and we've had 4 lead changes after Dowling got down 9-0 to start the contest. The Maroons ran off 6 unanswered points at the end of the first quarter, and they trailed 9-6 at the end of the first quarter. But Johnston, as you mentioned, foul trouble. Buchan, along with Gympie, had some foul problems for Johnston. They were off the court a couple times, and that's where Dowling kind of made their run in that second quarter, but Johnston outscoring Dowling 14-11. The Dragons finished strong, especially that three-pointer by Riley, who Dowling's been begging to shoot the three throughout the whole first half.
I can see that continue to be the second half game plan is to keep Riley in a position to shoot as they are double-teaming Gympie down on the block, and if they can keep the ball away from the block, and if they're going to beat you from the three-point arc, then so be it. But don't let Gympie beat you at the block, where she is so talented, leads the state in field goal percentage because she shoots 2-foot layups every time she gets the ball. So that's the Maroons. But the Johnston side, I think Riley is doing a great job defensively on Zedeker, keeping her to just 1 point in the first half. So finding a way to get Zedeker more involved, hopefully maybe setting a pick for Riley and see if you can get Zedeker free on something open to the basket.
All right, once again, we are at halftime here at Wells Fargo Arena with Johnston leading Dowling Catholic 23-17. A reminder, tomorrow night we'll be down in Indianola. You going to
I am going to go.
The boys sub-state
Absolutely.
game? You didn't go to Council Bluffs with us. We had a great reunion of Coach Nizzi, the Fabers, Odies, the Marls are all sitting around us, but I didn't see your name.
When we heard you say the Maroons punched the ticket, and I'm thinking, punch the ticket where? They're
to Indianola.
They're in the regional finals.
On Tuesday night, they punched the ticket.
You were so excited, and it was a good time.
I may extend my away from work later this afternoon because I think that's going to not go well at work. But thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that. They punched their ticket to Tuesday night.
When the Dowling boys looked at their draw in the regionals, and they saw who they had to draw, and they knew they can get by North, and thought confident in getting past Abe Lincoln with Josh Dix being out, and so they thought they could get into a position to play Johnston in this final game, and so I think with a little bit of momentum and good game plan, anything can happen down in Indianola tomorrow night.
Yep, we'll be on the air at 6:45. Steve DeVenny and I will have the call, and I think they may stream it. We're trying to find that out. They're working that out now. They may video stream it, and they may plug in our audio to their video stream. They do that down there, so we'll see. But we'll be on the air tomorrow night, radio at least. Dowling and Johnston tomorrow night in the boys sub-state final in Class 4A, and the winner does punch their ticket to the boys state basketball tournament, which Jimmy Cataldo begins next week.
I just want you to be able to say that for real.
Punch their ticket. Well, they punched their ticket to Indianola.
Yeah.
Dowling and Johnston will have it tomorrow night. All right, we'll be back. We'll take a break here at halftime with Johnston leading the Dowling girls in the first round of the girls state basketball tournament here at Wells Fargo Arena. It's Johnston 23, Dowling 17 here at halftime. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. And we want to thank Jimmy Olson back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios. He and Deacon Tony Valdez for keeping us on cue and on point, as they are our studio producers. And we'll return after these messages.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Hi, this is Matt Wilkham, Executive Director for Iowa Catholic Radio. A sincere thank you to all those who responded during our Spring Carathon. Your generosity means thousands of souls will continue to receive the message of faith and hope found only in Jesus Christ and His Church. If you didn't get a chance to give, it's not too late to pledge your support, and matching dollars are still available. Call 515-223-1150 or donate online at iowacatholicradio.com. Thank you.
Hey, welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. Hey, did you get the tour of, I know you're used to coming here for concerts and other activities, but did you ever get the tour of Wells Fargo Arena, the stuff, the media that can go in the back, and they have popcorn and refreshments, and then you have where the hockey and basketball folks are at. Did you get that tour, Jimmy?
There's some really good concerts coming up here in this,
yes, there is.
This spring, summer. I went and looked for that secret back door.
They
always have a back door in these arenas.
The one at Vets Auditorium, they bolted it.
So I took my little tour and wondered which one I could get into and see if I can get into some of these concerts, because everyone has a back door. But the facility is incredible here, and opportunity to get up front and see a lot of this is unique.
It certainly is. And we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. I know you're probably supposed to be halfway to Sioux City by now on Monday, right? Tomorrow. See, I'm close. Did you postpone it today to say, hey, I got to sit on, we're sitting on ice. They don't melt the ice here. This is ice. They got padding there, and on that side it moves. On the west side of Wells Fargo Arena, it's a little shift when you walk. Got to be careful, but it gets a little cold down here at times.
I felt that, but it'd be interesting to watch them set this up and take it down after a hockey match. And you're right. I mean, everything you can see right through these floors, and it's ice underneath there.
The Iowa Wild hockey team plays all their home games here, and once they're done with their season, hopefully they'll go into the postseason. Then they melt the ice and they bring in all the events throughout the summer. And of course, the Iowa Wolves are the basketball team here, and they don't use this floor. It's a little bit different floor than what the Wolves use. And girls tournament has this thing put away under the bunkers here at Wells Fargo Arena. They bring it out for the state tournament. And this is a college floor, so a little bit longer floor than at Dowling. Johnston has a college floor. A lot of the high schools, newer high schools do. But maybe that'll make somewhat of a difference. You add that extra 10 feet or so.
Well, especially as the Maroons haven't gone much to their bench, Johnston having the ability to go deeper into their bench. Certainly we'll see how that wears on the Maroons as this game goes on.
All right, teams back on the floor as about ready to start the second half. I want to thank Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates, along with Skeffington's Formal Wear, Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One. And we also want to thank all our supporters, as we are listener-supported here in Iowa Catholic Radio, that pledged to the Iowa Catholic Radio Spring Carathon last week. And you can still pledge your support at iowacatholicradio.com. Just log on to the website and click on the donate button. Don't forget to like Iowa Catholic Radio on Facebook and follow Iowa Catholic Radio on Twitter.
A chance to see Coach Lisa Bluter in the crowd today, and after a big win yesterday in an incredible environment at Carver, Hawkeye had a chance to talk to Coach Bob Nizzi, grandfather of Caitlin Clark, before the game.
All right, we're underway as Johnston with the basketball first, and they get the ball on the right side to Anna Gosling, and she shoots and scores. So Dragons get the first 2 points of the second half. And Dowling with the basketball. They trail 25-17 to the Maroons. And let's see if the Maroons can disrupt this Johnston team. They come in at 23-0. They've won 40 of their last 41 games dating back over the last 2 years. The only loss was last year in the state title game to Waukee. And they've been on quite a run. As Gosling now with 10 points to lead Johnston with the first basket. Frericks in the corner to Julia Moore. Julia backs in, gets in the corner to Frericks for three. It's off the mark, no good. And the rebound, Johnston and Anna Gosling. 25-17 Johnston as we start the third quarter. Dragons going towards the south basket. They lob it inside to Gymphy, and a nice entry pass by Riley, and Gymphy shoots and scores from the right block.
They just didn't rotate their defense, and Gymphy got it exactly where she lives it. And high percentage shot.
And now Gipple for three, and it's good. Emma with her second three of the year, and it cuts the lead to 27-20, Johnston over Dowling.
First three of the night for the Maroons, who are just now 1 of 10 from the three-point arc.
There's Riley going against Moore. Her shot up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Julia Moore comes away with it. They're going to let Riley shoot that three. She did make one in the later stages of the first half. Zedeker, Moore is in the lane. A shot to left hand, good by Julia Moore. She now has 6 points.
Tough shot to go straight ahead, attacking the basket, and then using the backboard.
Now a backdoor cut, and Riley's shot up and good. They triple team Gosling, and Riley gets the basket for Johnston.
Just the help defense that the Maroons are having to give is opening up a lot of the Johnston girls. Being able to hit the backdoor cuts to the basket, easy layup for Riley.
Riley with 9 points, 29-22, Johnston by 7. Dragons have led by as many as 9. They got off to a 9-0 run to start the contest. Dowling's largest lead has been 1. Here's Zedeker with it. Up top it goes to Julia Moore. Moore down the lane, goes right at Gymphy. Her shot up, no good, and Gymphy with the rebound, and Moore kind of shaken up after the play. Gosling in transition, pull-up jumper at the left elbow, good. Anna Gosling. And she now has 12 points and a timeout called. Julia Moore's knee is now bothering her after she collided with Gymphy. And we've got a timeout. Let's see, this will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here with 5.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Johnston 31, Dowling 22 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. And Jimmy, the Maroons gave up a little run there, and they got to stymie that. And we'll be interested to see what be the called set play for Dowling out of this timeout.
Well, it's consecutive to what you saw in the last two games against Johnston. The Maroons getting outscored in the third quarter against Johnston, 17-8 in the first game, and then 15-1 in the second game. And those are both third quarter scores. So the Maroons have not came out of the halftime well against Johnston, and you're seeing that a little bit here in the third game today.
Maroons have been outscored 8-5 here in the third quarter. They trail by 9 at the 5.5-minute mark. Again, we'll resume regular programming following this contest as we bring you coverage of Dowling Catholic's girls state basketball appearance here at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. Johnston 31, Dowling 22. Maroons out of the timeout. Moore in the lane. She stays in the contest. Leaves it for Gipple. A shot with the left hand. Too strong, no good. And a rebound, Gyamfi and the Dragons.
Great look by Gipple. Just couldn't connect on the left-handed layup.
Well, we talked about the set play. That was a great set play. And now the Euro step by Aaliyah Riley is good. And Aaliyah, may not hit many threes, but she can certainly does some fancy work around the basket. And that was good footwork there. 33-22, Johnston now with their largest lead of 11 over Dowling. Here's Frericks with it, leads for Gipple. Emma, skip pass over to Zedeker. Ava in the lane, and her shot up and good. They'll wave it off, a foul before the shot on Buchan, I believe. And it will be Zoe Buchan's third foul.
At that time, Riley had to come off of Zedeker to help out on the defense. Left Zedeker wide open at the three. Had a good look at the beginning and then attacked the basket and drew the foul.
Dowling will inbound the ball. Moore with it. Underneath to Gipple, and she draws the foul. This will be Buchan's fourth foul, I believe. It will be, as they whistled on her. So Zoe Buchan, second in the state in free throw percentage, now has 4 fouls.
Jillick had a girl coming in for Buchan after she had her third foul. Because he couldn't get it in before the dead ball. Buchan had to play that last defensive set, and that's when she drew her fourth foul. Not too happy as Coach Jillick over there.
Yeah, well, Melanie Nelk will replace Buchan, so be careful who you wish for. Second free throw by Gipple is no good. She goes 1 for 2 at the line. I mentioned Dowling was 5 of 9 at the first half at the free throw line. Johnston 4 of 6 at the free throw line in the first half. Dragons with the rebound. Pull-up jumper, Gosling, it's no good. And the rebound, Dowling and Emma Gipple. Outlet pass goes to Zedeker. Zedeker, Marin Heller now in the lineup for Dowling. In the corner to Frericks for 3. Good! Corner 3 by Lauren Frericks from the right corner.
It's a big hit for Frericks and then for this Maroon team to cut the lead down to 7.
Gosling dribbling inside. Leaves it for Riley. Reverse layup. Blocked by Gipple. Ball slapped around. Heller comes away with it. 33-26. Johnston by 7. Here's Heller in the corner to Frerick. Won't shoot the 3. Leaves it for Zedeker, top of the key, who's guarded by Gyamfi. So Gyamfi at center, guarding Dowling's point guard. Now Zedeker, step back 3, up and no good. Ball slapped around, and Riley comes away with it for Johnston. Aaliyah dribbles in the front court. Leaves it for Tanky. Out top it goes to Nelk. Now a long 3, up and no good by Riley. That's part of the game plan by the Maroons. Let Riley shoot the 3. Long rebound out to Gipple. Down the lane goes Zedeker. Shot up and no good and draws the foul. That'll be on Aaliyah Riley.
You know, sometimes you think that officiating may be protecting some of the highlight girls, and at that time on the defensive rebound, Gipple had a good look getting the rebound, and Gyamfi was just all over trying to scrap for that ball, and a lot of the Dowling coaches, Coach Meyer is asking why that foul wasn't called, and certainly it seemed to be a lot of contact there, but nothing was called.
First free throw up and good by Ava Zedeker. She now has 2 points. 33-27. Johnston by 6 with 3:15 remaining here in the third quarter. And this morning's game is brought to you in part by Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Second free throw by Zedeker is no good. She has 2 points this morning. 33-27. Johnston with the lead. This is Gosling with it. Moves in the lane. Her shot up no good. Gipple with another rebound. Every rebound she gets adds to the Dowling record, and now a jump ball called as the ball was slapped out of Gipple's hands, and Gosling tied it up.
It's interesting you haven't seen a lot of pressing out of Johnston tonight, and that caused Dowling a lot of fits in the second game, and you just haven't seen any of that pressing that Johnston can do at any given time. And
That'd be a good question for Coach Jellick in the postgame, but I think part of it is you can't press if you got kids in foul trouble. And Jimphy was on the bench, and now Buchan with 4 fouls. That may be part of the reason. Dowling with the ball, now pushing foul called on Gosling. And I think Coach Meyer may have gotten her point to the 3 officials here. They are not from the CIML. I have not seen them, so the CIML is a little bit more physical. And the Maroons are just saying, hey, arm on a player is a foul, and they got that one there. 14 foul on Johnston here in the third quarter. Dowling with none. Now the Maroons get the ball inside. Gippel's pass underneath, broken up nicely by the Dragons, and Molly Nelk knocks it out of bounds.
Gipple took the ball to the basket hard on the baseline, had Jimpy on her one-on-one at the baseline. Nice little pump fake, gets her up in the air, maybe draws a foul, but Gipple passes it off.
Now a great play that time as Johnston steals the inbounds pass. Eiley Tanky falls out of bounds and throws the ball off of Lauren Ferrick's leg out of bounds to Johnston. Heads up play. So the Dragons have it. They lead by 6, 2.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. It's Johnston with the basketball. They go on the front court. Now nearly a 5-second call, and finally Gosling gives up the basketball. With it is Nelk underneath, and a shot up and good off the glass by the Dragons. Isabella Balsley, her first basket tonight.
Good look by Nelk. Took the ball to the basket hard, as you said, and forced the double team and left Balsley wide open on the back cut.
Now Jimphy goes back to guarding Gipple. Here's Moore on the baseline. Nearly cut off, looking for a cutter. And now gets to Gipple, guarded by Jimphy. Goes around Jimphy. Underneath, and the shot by Ferrick slips out of her hands, out of bounds. Tough break for Lauren.
Great job to cut to the basket by Lauren. Came hard and came open. Cut into the middle of the basket. Just tried to go up too quick and didn't really have the handle on the basketball, and it flies out of bounds.
Winner of Johnston and Dowling will play the winner of Pleasant Valley and City High of Iowa City. That game coming up next year at the Girls State Basketball Tournament here in Class 5A. And those winners will meet Thursday morning at 10 o'clock as 5A once again starts with the Girls State Basketball Tournament. They tip it off, and the state championship game is the first one. That'll be Friday night, this Friday, March 4th at 6 o'clock, the 5A state championship game. Well, now.
So Johnston now is just dribbling it uncontested out at half court. The Maroons aren't within, 20 feet of Balsley dribbling it. And Coach Jellick says, we have nowhere to go. We're winning this game, and let's just play this out. This last 1 minute of the third quarter, up 8. You would love to see the Maroons just force the issue. Again, you got nothing to lose. Get out there, force the issue, force Johnson into some mistakes, and go in hard into the fourth quarter. But Coach Myers decided to lay off, let them dribble it out for the rest of the third quarter.
You also got to remember that a year from now we will have a shot clock, and it'll either be a 30 or 35-second high school federation shot clock, so this will be a moot point a year from now. They've been holding the ball for just over a minute. It was about a minute.
They started dribbling at 1 minute, 40 seconds.
40 seconds, okay, so it's over a minute. They've held the ball for a minute, 20 seconds. As we have 20 seconds left to go third quarter. You can hear the Dowling fans behind us, not very happy. I think your son's booing again. Now Johnston will start their offense, and here's Balsley's pass to Gosling, and foul called on Dowling right as Gosling got the ball. They were right there, and that'll be on Heller. That'll be her first. That is Dowling's first team foul of the second half. Johnston has 14 fouls with 6 seconds remaining, out of bounds to Johnston.
So you may see Dowling and Coach Meyer, Danner, looking to give up some of those fouls in this third quarter.
Now the ball poked away. Jimphy had a reverse pass. It'll stay with Johnston with 3.7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Johnston 35, Dowling 27. Dragons by 8, and they'll inbound the ball. Nelk will inbound it right in front of the Johnston bench. Looking for someone. That's a 5-second call. So the Maroons will have the ball last here in the third quarter. 5-second call, and the Maroon defense was all over the place.
Great job setting up the defense. It didn't cover the ball, so allowed 5-on-4, covering the inbounds pass and forced a 5-second violation. So the Maroons have the ball, 3.7 seconds to go in the quarter. See if they can get a good look here.
Now Johnston's going to overplay everything, and they almost get the steal. Zedeker with it. 2 seconds. Zedeker launched a half-court shot And it's no good, and we've come to the end of the third quarter here at Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines, the Girls State Basketball Tournament, and it's Johnston leading Dowling 35-27. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this 1-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
What is the first reflex thought that we find in sacred scripture of God? Not the first description of him creating the world, but the first thought that he has about himself. Open Genesis and you will find it. Let us make man. Think of it, as if God could not exist without man. God does not need man to complete himself, to fulfill a need, but he needs man as a kind of a gift. He must have someone to whom he can show his love. The first monologue that we touch in sacred scripture is the monologue of God thinking about man. And what are the first dialogues in scripture? The first question in scripture is God saying to man, Adam, where art thou?
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadeo. As we're at the end of the third quarter, Johnston leading Dowling 35-27. The Dragons outscore the Maroons 12-10 in that third quarter. Johnston did not attempt a free throw in the third quarter. Dowling went 2 of 4 from the line. They're now 7 of 13 for the contest. The Maroons got a couple of field goals in that third quarter, and they were both three-pointers. Frericks and Gipple knocking down threes. And, Jimmy, we're underway here in this fourth quarter. The right to move on to the semifinals on Thursday morning.
Well, I think the Maroons are where they hoped they'd be, within 8, which has been a fourth quarter they haven't seen with Johnston over the last 2 games. And so let's see what they do. As Johnston starts the second half, exactly how they ended is just dribbling it at the three-point or the half-court line, forcing Dowling to come out and guard them.
Yes, they are. And now here's a steal by Gipple right in front of Jimphy. Emma down court has to go around Riley. Her shot up and short, and Jimphy with the rebound. Dowling with an opportunity there. Outlet pass to Gosling. She goes down the lane. Layup is good. And Johnston transitions. They start out slowing it down, and then they get in their transition game, and Gosling with her 14th point.
Well, Emma Gipple had a great look on the transition steal and thought she got some contact from Riley, which would have been her 4th foul, but got no call on it and missed the layup.
Dragons by 10, and now here is Heller for 3, and it's no good. Rebound Johnston, and a reach-in foul on Dowling. It'll be on Heller as she tried to strip the ball away from Gosling after the rebound. And Marin has committed her 2nd foul.
This is where Johnston becomes really tough, as the Maroons want to press them and try to force some turnovers, but Johnston is so good at breaking presses and looking for easy shots off the press, and this is where they would extend a lead.
37-27, Johnston with the lead, and they're going to make Dowling come out. The Maroons have been in man-to-man defense, but Johnston's going to make them come out and guard at half court. And here's Riley, a little teardrop in the lane. Her shot's no good. Ball tipped out by Jimphy into the hands of Gosling. Her shot is no good. And the rebound, Riley and Johnston. 3 possessions now on this 1 possession for Johnston.
It's tough by the Maroons. Just couldn't get the block out as Jimphy tipped it out to her own player and kept the ball alive.
Now a blocking foul called on Moore as she was trying to deny Riley and force her to go left. That'll be Julia's 3rd foul. Team foul number 3 on Dowling. Johnston with 14 fouls. Dragons will inbound the ball. Gosling will throw it in. Gosling, Tanky, Jimphy, along with Riley. The 5 on the floor for Johnston, and Zoe Buchan gets to start in the fourth quarter. And now a pass inside, tipped away by Gipple and stolen away by Gipple. Dragons try to get the ball inside the Jimphy, and they steal the pass. Here's Zediker. Ava draws the foul, and that'll be on Riley. And on Aaliyah Riley, that is her 4th foul for the 5'7" sophomore. And we got a timeout called by Johnston. This will be a full, I believe. I think they're all out of 30s. We'll see. Nope, it'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. with Johnston leading Dowling 37-27, just under 6 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Mark Amadeo alongside Jimmy Cataldo. And we want to thank our supporters. They include Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One. Jimmy, you got to look at some of the totals from the third quarter.
So through three quarters, the Maroons 6 of 11, 54% from the field, 2 of 12 from the three-point arc, 16%, 14 total rebounds, and 6 total turnovers for Johnston. 11 of 18 from the field, 61%, 3 of 8 from the three-point arc, 37%, 15 total rebounds, and 7 total turnovers for the game. You know, if the Maroons want to make a run here, they got to get aggressive, take the ball hard to the basket, and they got to be able to knock down some threes, which they've been struggling from the three-point arc against Johnston, especially today, just 2 of 12, but certainly got to knock down some threes to get back into this game.
Mention our officials this morning: Chad Slagle, Garrett Wirtz, and Travis Berkey. Congratulations to those men. They've done an outstanding job here this morning. Dowling with the ball, and how about that shot by Heller with the left hand? A teardrop off the top of the backboard. Good, out of the timeout.
Really high off the backboard. Heller taking it hard to the basket, left side.
That is her 6th point off the bench for the Maroons. 5.5 minutes remaining, and it's 37-29 Johnston. Trying to win the season series. This is the third game between the two teams. Johnston's won the first two, as we mentioned in the pregame. And Gymphy underneath, her shot up and no good. Julia Moore tried to take the foul, and Gipple tried for the block. And Moore's going to pick up the foul. No one check that. It'll be on Gipple.
Gipple's third foul on the game.
So free throws coming. That'll be the 4th team foul on Dowling. This is a shooting foul, and Gymphy, who was 1 for 2 this morning at the line, misses the first free throw. Substitutions, as we'll see Ellie Olson check into the Dowling lineup for Emma Gipple. Dragons will bring back in Isabella Balsley off the bench, the 5'6" sophomore wearing number 2. Also in there for Johnston will be Emma Hampton, number 33. Second free throw good by Gymphy, who has had a quiet 6 points this morning. 38-29 Johnston. Approaching the 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Here's Olsen with it. Ellie, one of the 5 freshmen on this Dowling team, and now underneath Zedeker, leaves in the corner. Oh, she got the pass to Heller. It's no good. And the rebound, Gymphy. She went right around Olsen.
Good look by Heller. Just in and out shot. Gymphy just so strong getting those rebounds below, just kind of getting Ellie Olsen off her. And
Buchan in the lineup, weighing with 4 fouls, and Coach Jellick says, hey, go to half court and see if they come out and guard you. And now Moore will for the Maroons. Over to Buchan, guarded by Heller. Johnston just keeping the ball in the middle of the lane, and underneath, a foul called before the shot. Balsley had the ball, and she drew the foul.
It's going to go on Moore, and that will be her 4th.
So Julia with 6 points this morning. 38-29 Johnston. Tritton will check in for Moore. 4 minutes, 22 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. The winner moves on to Thursday morning against the winner of the next game between City High of Iowa City and Pleasant Valley. And they'll tip it off probably within a half hour after this game is over with. Now underneath, this is Buchan in the lane and drew the foul. And they'll get Dowling for the push. And this will be team foul number 6 on the Maroons. Tritton will pick up the foul.
Ellie Olsen is really battling Gymphy and on the block, keeping everything away, help defense across, so making it really hard for them to feed the post.
Well, Dowling with the basketball as Tritton comes away with it in the front court. Here's Zedeker trying to dribble baseline. Now pull-up jumper from 3. It's in and out, no good. And rebound Gymphy and Johnston.
Just not getting the threes to fall. Everything just seems right on and just in and out of the basket.
Gymphy underneath, her shot up and no good, drew the foul, and 2 free throws coming for Johnston. And they're going to call the foul on Ellie Olsen. That'll be her first.
Meyer's going to bring in Gipple and Moore back in at the break, both of them with foul trouble, but at this point with 3:46, you got to send all your weapons out there and hopefully to cut into this lead and give yourself a chance late in this game.
Today's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates. Mark Amadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo. We're courtside here at Wells Fargo Arena, downtown Des Moines. Second free throw by Gyamfi of Johnston is good. And it's 40-29, Johnston by 11. That matches their largest lead this morning. Dowling with the ball. Here's Heller coming off a ball screen, guarded by Gyamfi. Down the lane she goes. Shot off the glass too strong. Rebound Gipple, and a whistle and a loose ball foul called on Johnston. I don't know if they're going to get Gosling or Buchan. And she just fouled out. They're going to get it on Buchan. And Zoe Buchan becomes the first casualty of the contest as she fouls out with 3:31 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Here's the beauty about that is that Buchan goes to the bench and they bring in Molly Nelk, who leads the team in three-pointers, 47. Yeah. So
and leads the state in field goal efficiency. How about that for a sixth player? Now backdoor cut. Gipple with the pass to Heller. She can't get the shot off as Gosling's right there. Yeah, you're right. What a matchup. Now Heller, pull-up jumper. Good. Left wing right over Gosling. Marion Heller.
You got to score quick in these possessions. You got to think Johnson's going to keep the ball for quite a while until Dowling fouls.
40-31, Johnston by 9. Heller now with 8 points. And the ball out of bounds. Turnover against the Dragons. And Coach Jellick not happy with how his team's executing down the stretch. As returning to the Johnston lineup, Aaliyah Riley, and she'll replace Emma Hampton, who was in there the last few minutes.
Riley comes in for ball handling skills, and certainly somebody that can go to the free throw line if needed.
Dowling with a four-guard offense with Gipple in the post. Heller, Zedeker, both point guards in for Dowling, along with Julia Moore and Lauren Frericks. Here's Heller, who is guarded by Balsley. 2.5 minutes remaining. Johnston by 9. Dowling trying to cut into this deficit. Here's Moore with it. Julia in the lane. Cut off by Gyamfi. Gets it back to Zedeker. In the corner goes to Gipple, and she drew the foul before the shot. Over there near the left elbow. And that foul will be on Balsley of Johnston.
But Dowling wanted to take an early shot. They just couldn't get anything open. Johnston's defense is ramping up and making it really challenging for these girls to get a good look, to get an early shot in the possession.
And correction, foul is on Gosling, her third, not Balsley. Team foul number 7 on the Dragons. Dowling with 17 fouls. Free throw good by Emma Gipple. Gipple with 10 points this morning. Make that 11 with the free throw being good. Second free throw is good. 12 points for Gipple.
Cuts the lead down to 7 with 2:20 left to go in the game. Maroon's probably in a position where they're going to be forced to foul and put Johnston on the free throw line here in the rest of those 2 minutes.
All right, here's Gyamfi with it. And turnaround shot in the lane, good. She went right over Gipple.
So much I know,
Gyamfi.
right?
Yeah, how'd that work out? 10 points now for Jada Gyamfi. 42-33, Johnston by 9. 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Now high off the glass, shot up and good by Heller. She hit one from the left side with the left hand, this one with the right hand, and Dowling will call a timeout. Great job by
Heller's ability to dribble the basketball as well as she does really puts her defender at such a disadvantage because the crossover and gets everything moving and then able to take the ball to the basket and finish.
All right, we'll take a 1-minute break here from Wells Fargo Arena, the Class 5A state tournament. And it's Johnston 42, Dowling 35 with just under 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. And we'll return after these messages.
Thought of the Day with Monsignor Frank Bagnano.
The ancient Greek philosophers were quoted as saying, "In God we live and move and have our very being." Today, the vast majority of cosmologists agree that a brilliant, powerful, supreme being began our universe some 13.8 billion years ago. They called it the Big Bang. And therefore all life has come from that being whom we call God, the one who gives power and being to all that exists. If it were not for his sustaining presence, all things would cease to exist. So today, consider this reality. You and I are surrounded and encompassed by God. Yes, swimming in God's presence, swimming in his love, a love that sustains you and me moment by moment. The Greeks had it right. In him we live and move and have our very being. And that is today's thought of the day.
All right. Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. Minute 40 remaining. Johnston with the basketball. And Maroons now with the foul. That'll be on Layla Tritton, her third. 42-35. Johnston by 7. Well-played game, low-scoring game, as we expected, as both teams can light it up. Johnston averaging 70 points a contest. Dowling well over 50, but both teams hold their opponents in the mid to upper 30s, and free throws coming for Johnston in front of a 1-and-1. It's no good. That was Molly Nelk missing the free throw. One of their better free throw shooters, 75%. Dowling with the rebound, trailing by 7. And now whistling the foul as they try to steal the pass from Heller, and they're going to whistle a foul on Gosling, and that'll be her fourth here, Jimmy.
Certainly just not a foul that Coach Jillick wanted to see. You're up 7, and Dowling's dribbling the ball well past the three-point arc. And they try to go for the steal, and during which Gosling goes into Heller to put her at the line for a 1-and-1.
So Johnston missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Let's see if Heller can knock it down, and she does. Marin, an 81% free throw shooter, Marin Heller, and then Zedeker, and also an 81% free throw shooter for, not bad for freshmen, huh? Second free throw by Marin, up, and it's short, and a rebound Johnston, and Molly Nelk with the rebound.
So now people you want to look to foul is certainly Riley. If they can foul Tanky, those are their two worst free throw shooters on the court.
And they foul Gosling, who's an 88% free throw shooter, first in the state in free throw percentage. Sometimes you just got to get the clock stopped, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Gosling.
They had a situation with Riley dribbling the ball, and I believe that was Zedeker on her, I believe, and just got to know who to foul at this position at this point in time, and Gosling's not that one.
So free throws coming for Gosling, as we mentioned. First in Class 5A in free throw percentage, and she hits the first free throw. She has 15 points this morning. 1 for 1 at the free throw line. She's also third in field goal percentage in the state with 61%. Second free throw, no good. Rebound Dowling. 43-36 Johnston. Minute 15 remaining. Runs with her dribble weave. Here's Heller coming off a ball screen by Gipple. Emma dribbles down the right block. Double team by Gymphy, and Heller couldn't find her. Now crossover dribble. Heller in the lane. Leaves it for Moore, and it's tipped away by Gosling. With a minute to play here in the fourth quarter, Maroons trail by 7.
Dowling's trying to get the two-point shot, attacking the basket. Just nothing there right now, and somebody needs to step out and get their feet set as a three-point kick out.
Inbound the ball to Gipple, who's guarded by Gymphy. We haven't seen any zone this morning by either of these teams. Here is Ferguson. The lander shot off the glass is short, and a rebound Gymphy. And Johnston with the rebound, and now they foul Gosling in the backcourt. She'll go to the free throw line. That'll be the 10th team foul on Dowling, so a double bonus now for Johnston with 47 seconds remaining.
So 2 shots at this point, and the Maroons hopefully get 1 or 2 of them to miss.
And the first free throw rolls through by Gosling. She now has 16 points.
But you look out there, and Zedeker's got to be somebody that's got to try to get open for a 3, and Heller's been really, really good from the right side corner throughout the year.
Gosling hits them both. She now has 17 points. 45-36 Johnston. Zedeker in the front court for the Maroons to Gipple. Gipple over to Moore. Julia coming off a ball screen set by Gipple. Moore backs in, puts up a shot. It's good, but a reach in by Johnston forced Julia to travel with the basketball. Turnover against Dowling.
Yeah, just added one more step to her roll around layup to the left side, and certainly the reach in aided that extra step.
35 seconds remaining, 45-36 Johnston. And we've got a timeout called by the Dragons, and this will be a full timeout. So we'll take it with them with 35 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Girls State Basketball Tournament, Class 5A. And Johnston leading Dowling 45-36. Along with Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale from Wells Fargo Arena, downtown Des Moines, here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
And welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. Mark Amadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo with 35 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Johnston 45, Dowling 36. Officials get together.
Interesting inbounds play where all five girls
started out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Saw that last year, and that'll be a violation. And I think Coach Jellick wants to know how this works. Saw it happen last year in the girls' state tournament.
I would believe Jellick is well aware of the rule on that, because that's a set-in inbounds play for him.
Chad Slagle, Garrett Wirtz, and Travis Berkey got everything taken care of. And now Dragons now will substitute. They'll get Emma Hampton back in, offense, defense, since the Dragons are guilty of a turnover. And Dowling will now have the ball underneath their own basket. Julia Moore will throw it in. Gets it into Gipple, over to Frericks. Lauren back inside. The ball stripped away by Johnston in the hands of Gosling. She's always around the basketball. Gosling loses it to Julia Moore right in front of us. Moore for three, and it's blocked by Gosling in the hands of Gymphy with 20 seconds remaining. They'll get it across the timeline to Balsley. Hand it off to Gosling, and they'll foul her with 9 seconds remaining. That should do it. 45-36. Foul on Dowling will be on Zedeker. And Jimmy, what a hard-fought battle. It's something that, you play a team 3 times, and you lose the first 2 handily. I mean, Johnston beat Dowling handily the first 2 times during their regular season, during their conference season. But this morning, whole different attitude, and the Maroons trailing by 10 right now. But what an effort it was. Saw a lot of things happen.
Johnston just gives you such a small area for to make mistakes, and because they shoot such high field goal percentages, and if Dowling's not hitting their shots, that's when they start extending the leads.
And Heller with the basket, and that should do it. Johnston does not have to inbound the ball, and they won't. Heller will finish with 12 points, and that'll do it. Congratulations to Chad Jellick and the Johnston Dragons, as they have now won their 24th game in a row. They're 24-0 with the win over Dowling, 47-38 here at Wells Fargo Arena in the first round of the girls' state basketball tournament. Dowling will close out their season ranked 9th with a record of 18-7. And Jimmy, the one thing that comes to mind anytime a team loses or it's their final game is the seniors. And Dowling had 8 seniors, quite a few of them in the mix. And, of course, I think over the course of 2 weeks during the regular season, we recognized the seniors because Coach Meyer started all 5 seniors one night and started remaining 4 seniors, or the remaining 3 seniors the next night. But those 8 seniors, they have a lot of memories they've made this year, and this is one of them. You took the number 1 team in the state. Dragons come in, winning 40 of their last 41 games, and you took them down to the wire here at Wells Fargo. And it's got to be bittersweet, but you're going to miss those seniors. And one of them, Edmund Gipple, the all-time leading rebounder at Dowling that was set earlier this year.
It's just it's you never want the end to happen, but at some point the end does come. And as you mentioned, for these seniors, it's such a hard thing for their families and to be a part of this Dowling basketball program from junior high on, and you get to get so close to the coaching staff, to the program, to the other girls, and to see this all come to end. But at a great spot, you made it to the Wells for the state tournament, and it's just never a good time to get beat. But at some point, it does come to an end. But a great career by many, and certainly a great career from one Emma Gipple.
Yeah, Emma Gipple, one of the lone senior starter for the Maroons. She, along with Olivia Rediker, Grace Kelly, Molly Moist, along with Macy Downing, Olivia Spracklin, and Addie Smith, the 8 seniors on this Dowling team, and played their final game this morning.
And those other seniors, as you mentioned, Rediker, Kelly, Moist, Downing, Spracklin, and Smith, those seniors were locked in throughout the entire year. You didn't see any senior who wasn't getting a ton of playing time, disengaged from the team, that they were all locked in. They wanted to see the betterment of this team succeed, and whatever role they had to fill in, they did, and that's what brought great unity to this program, and what Coach Dan or Coach Marr has built, and certainly those seniors says a lot for their character.
Certainly does, and a lot of those seniors were mentors to those freshmen and sophomores that we talked a lot about throughout the season. We're going to take a break here as we go to our postgame show this morning from Wells Fargo Arena, as we're approaching 11:30 here in Central Iowa. And once again, the final score before, and I think as I understand, Coach Meyer and some of the players will go to the media area, but Coach Danner will join us with maybe a player or two. So we'll continue our postgame show while the next 2 teams warm up. That'll be City High of Iowa City and Pleasant Valley. Johnston will meet the winner of that game Thursday morning at 10 o'clock in the semifinals as Dowling season comes to an end. In girls basketball, it was Johnston 47, Dowling 38. Along with Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Hamadale will return to Wells Fargo Arena with the postgame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
Why do I have to go to church on Sunday?
Aren't your best friends the ones you only see once in a while? Like after you've gotten to all the really important stuff. Or maybe just on Christmas and Easter. I don't think so. But lots of people let their relationship with God go just like that. God invites each of us to a deep relationship with Him. In the time of Christ, when someone invited you to share a meal with them, they were inviting you to be a part of their family. That's what God does in the Mass. And this is no ordinary meal. In the Eucharist, we receive the living body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus. So, if we say no to the invitation to Mass, we're saying, I don't want to be a part of your family. I don't want your sacrifice. I don't want your redemption. And it's pretty hard to have a relationship with God when we've rejected Him so completely. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youngcatholicminute.com.
And welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. Girls State basketball tournament, Class 5A, and it was Johnston, a winner this morning, 47-38, as Dowling Catholic season comes to an end. The Maroons finish out their year with a record of 18-7, and Johnston will move on with a record of 24-0, as the Dragons now have won 41 of their last 42 games. Their last loss was in last year's state championship game to Waukee, 71-43, and they got all the weapons back, and they got, probably a little bit of a shock, a wake-up call against Dowling in this first round as the Maroons hung around. Didn't look like in the beginning, Jimmy. You go back to the first quarter, Johnston 9-0 to start with. Dowling ends on a 6-0 run, and the Maroons trailed by 6 at halftime. But this Johnston team, a really good Johnston team, as I told Coach Danner, I says, I'll tell you what, this is a team that's gotten better all year, but the Maroons came out, and you could see the youth of Dowling getting much more mature, and those freshmen are playing more like sophomores and juniors right now, and that's a credit to them and the coaching staff and what they've grown. And now you end your season at Wells Fargo Arena. Not too many teams can say that.
Certainly, and you said that Johnson may have gotten a little wake-up call from Dowling, and at the end of the day, once you make it down here, every team's going to be good, and so winning your margin of victory this year, 33 points, goes out the window when you come down to Wells Fargo. A 1-point win is a great win for Johnson or any team down here. But certainly, Johnson's going to have their challenges as they go through this, but they have the opportunity to be in the first 5A team to go undefeated and win a state title as they move their way through this state tournament and play the winner of this next game, I believe, which is City High Pleasant Valley. And but credit to the Dowling girls. They learned from what hurt them the last 2 games versus Johnston. They tightened up a lot of those mistakes. I thought they played and had a really good game plan early on Gympie with the double team forcing Riley to shoot the outside shot, which she only really made 1 shot when they allowed her an open 3-point shot.
That was right before the half.
Right before the half, but those type of things wear down on you when you don't make your shots. Then the transition of Johnston hustling the ball back to the offensive side, you're not able to get into that defensive set, and so the missed shots by Dowling hurt them as the game wore on because the transition to Johnston, usually came back and aided to a quick point.
You're listening to the postgame show following today's girls state basketball morning game here in Class 5A at Wells Fargo Arena. It was Johnston holding off Dowling 47-38. The Dragons won the previous 2 games against Dowling 57-41 back on January 31st at the Dowling Gym. And then later on in February, Dowling losing 60-28, running clock at the Johnston Gym. And things all turned here. It was a close game. I think the Dragons' largest lead was 11 points, and that was in the second half. Dowling's largest lead was 1 point in the first half, so totally different game. Well, Jim, you want to take a look at the statistics? I'll let you take it off with the field goals, turnovers, and rebounds.
Certainly. So for Dowling tonight, 38 total points. Came out at 12 of 35 shooting from the field, 34%, area where this seems to be an issue for Dowling in some tight ball games like this. Went 2 of 16 from the three-point arc, just 12%. 8 total turnovers, 21 total rebounds for the Maroons. For Johnston on the winning edge, 47 points total. They went 16 of 32 from the field, 50%. 3 of 8 from the three-point arc, 37%. 11 turnovers, 29 total rebounds. Points in the paint, Johnston, 22 points in the paint to Dowling's 14. So certainly not being able to get to the basket more often and converting, settling for the three-point shot today for Dowling. Going 2 of 16 certainly was an area that hurt him today.
All right, let's do the scoring because we have a few guests that showed up. I can't believe you came all the way down here, Marin, to be interviewed by Jimmy Cataldo. I mean, his son was back here yelling at the other team. Did you know that was happening, Marin?
I did not.
Well, yeah. Right, Jimmy?
I mean, Marin, you played a tremendous game, and I'm going to keep things easy on you because I know your dad so well.
Yeah.
Who was a great basketball player at Valley in his time.
Did you use the word great?
He was great.
Oh, he was good.
He
went to Valley. He's good.
Yeah.
Not great. Well, Marin, congratulations. Marin Heller, one of the freshmen for the Maroons. How many? 5 freshmen with 8 seniors?
Yep.
You guys got along pretty good this year, didn't you?
Chemistry was really great, and we spent a lot of time out of practice and out of games together, and we just building that bond. And I think we had the best chemistry here in the whole tournament.
Well, it showed. You guys share the ball. You don't notice anything. You come off the bench. You know your role off the bench, and you gave Dowling a spark. You were one of the leading scorers. I think I had you for 12 points. You and Emma, the senior, both with 12 points, and you really are a spark off the bench in that first rotation that you get into. And, Marin, hopefully we'll see you 3 more years. I look forward to this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned you go one-on-one with your dad once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
How's that working out?
He's like, you're not going to be able to beat me as long as he lives, so.
Oh, my goodness. You sound like a challenge there, Coach Cataldo.
No, let me tell you, that's what your dad is supposed to do. Yeah. Is just to make you, the tough player that you are. And Marin, that I think the times that you've worked on that in the either in the backyard or in the gym has really paid off. The way you're able to take the ball to the basket, the way you dribble the ball, forcing your defender in a direction that you don't want them to go, and you're attacking the basket, and then soft touch around the basket has really excelled you in this year, especially as a 6th person coming off the bench. Going 6 of 10 from the field in your first state championship and first ever opportunity here at Wells Fargo. 13 points, Mark, by the way, as her total points. Don't sell her short. 13.
Did I miss a free throw? I might have.
But talk about your experience here. Talk about being a freshman and being in this environment, playing the number 1 team in the state, and how you handled that today.
Yeah, it was a crazy night. Coming in, we were going to play the number 1 team in the state, and I just, everybody gets nervous, and I got nervous, but use the nerve with them, and they use it as fuel, and I just had to, block out the crowd, work on my game.
There you go. Baron, one of the things, I think you're fearless. You go out there, doesn't play like a freshman, you play like an experienced player. And now you are after the season is concluded. But do you feel that way? I mean, you go out any game, no matter where we're at, Wells Fargo, Johnston, Dowling Valley, and you play fearless. That describe you pretty well?
Yeah, I my dad always told me, it doesn't matter how many points you have or how many assists, how many rebounds, just go in there, try your hardest, and, don't back down from anybody. You're going to be one of the smallest people on the court, and you got to use your size to your advantage. And
did he teach you that teardrop shot off the backboard? Now, you do it on the right side very nicely,
yeah.
But you did it from the left side in this game. That was something, and Coach Cataldo almost fell out of his chair when he saw the left. That thing almost climbed up to the scorer's clock at the top of the backboard.
Yep.
That's quite a shot. You work on that, right?
Yeah, we work on soft touch.
Soft touch. There you go, Mr. Cataldo.
Well, when your base size, sometimes you got to shoot over taller people, and I'm sure that's where Marin gets it. But
yeah.
Talk about your individual game. Coming in as a freshman, coming into this Dowling program, and knowing that you got to work on something. What did you learn about your game this year, and some of the things that you think you need to work on as the years go on?
I learned just sometimes I got to step up. I got to talk more and encourage my teammates. It's not a one-person game. It's a team game, and I gotta always be talking. If I'm not talking, I figured out that my team slowly decreases and we don't play as well. So I got to keep the chatter up and trying to help my team win as best as I can.
Then, talk about what you learned from this senior group. We talked about the leadership that they showed. It didn't matter if they were playing a lot or not playing a lot. The one thing about this senior group is that they understood their role and they kept this team rolling with the way they accepted their role. But what did you learn from the senior class?
They were great. They were so welcoming. The first time I stepped on the court, first time I stepped into school, they were so welcoming, and I didn't see them frown or get upset. They were always just encouraging me and wanted the best for me at all times.
Marin Heller, congratulations. What a season. Look forward to finishing your season in the next 3 years down here. Is that a goal that you make sure that standard gets set? I know it will. But appreciate your time. We're going to take a commercial break. Let you go back to your teammates. I know, and we'll talk with Coach Danner. But great job, Marin. And yes, you are the leading scorer. Thank you, Mr. Cataldo. I was looking for 1 point. I had Marin down for 12. She's got 13. Congratulations. Off the bench, 13. All right, Marin. We'll talk to you down the road.
All right.
And that's Marin Heller visiting with us on the postgame show, and she's going to change shares with Coach Danner. And we'll take a break here on the postgame show. This will be our final break of the girls' season, as the Johnston girls defeat Dowling, Johnston 47, Dowling 38. Johnston will move on and play the winner of the next game between City High of Iowa City and Pleasant Valley. Those two teams are warming up as we speak. We'll come back with our final thoughts with the assistant coach at Dowling Catholic. That's Joel Danner. He'll join us alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale, here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Golden Rule Heating and Cooling. Since 1999, Golden Rule Heating and Cooling has been supporting customers with their rules to live by: respect, understanding, loyalty, expertise, and service. GoldenRulePHC.com.
And welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. I want to thank Jimmy Olson back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios. We're now joined by assistant coach Joel Danner here on the post-game show from the arena floor. Joel, you're sitting on ice. The ice is not melted, but we're on ice.
Yes.
And you may need that after this contest. What a game plan, as Coach Cataldo mentioned throughout the game. You guys come out with a great game plan. Third time you play a team, it's like, well, what do you take away? Well, you made sure Riley had the ball outside the three, and you help with Gymphy inside. We saw a little bit of that. Trying to control Gymphy. Good luck. She did finish with 10 points for Johnston. We'll go through the scoring here in a moment. But what a game plan you guys came out with. And the kids, for the most part, executed, but obviously Johnston outscoring Dowling. Your thoughts, Coach?
Well, they did exactly what they had to do to give us a chance to beat the number one team in the state. They really did. And, when you got 2 days to prepare and practice, and, we spent a lot of time together as coaching staff just talking, what can we do, what gives us the best opportunity, how are we going to put our girls in the best opportunity offensively to, score points. And, and I think for the most part we did that. Again, it comes down to making shots. We missed a couple of shots here and there, had some opportunities underneath the basket that, just kind of went in and out. But, I was, I guess, more impressed with us defensively. I thought we really had contained what we had to do. I mean, Anna got off to a good start for them, but, other than that, I thought we did a nice job.
Yeah, you certainly did, Coach. I know didn't start that way. Jimmy and I talked about that. 9-0 Johnston to start the contest, but you finished with the final 6 points of the first quarter, and it looked like it was getting away early, and all of a sudden your team, that just shows maturity from the last time you played Johnston, which was just a few weeks ago till now. That young group, and we had one of them on here, Marin Heller, it just shows how much they were resilient and they didn't back down.
Yeah, no, and those, the freshmen have done such a good job the last couple of days, just listening and learning from the older girls and listening to Coach do what she's supposed to do and putting him in the proper position. But that's one thing. You end up 18-7, and these girls, I would think, never not fought throughout the season. And every game we were in, they just fought, and battled on the defensive end, and always gave ourselves an opportunity to be in the game late, and that's all you can ask for. And that starts with Julia Moore, and just in defensive end. And she did a great job again tonight. She really did overall.
But you look at the game and how the game flowed in the second quarter. You guys get to a point where you now take a lead against Johnston. You're up 1, and you started seeing a lot of the energy on the court pick up for your girls, and that's exactly where you hope you would be. That part of the game. And then things started to get away from you a little bit as the second quarter whittled down. And, the credit Johnston, they make you pay. If you miss a shot, they're going to make you pay for that. And they shoot the highest percentage in the state in field goal percentage. So if you miss it, you're going to find yourself, losing points on that. But talk about at the end of the second quarter with 1:40 left, I think you guys were down 9 at the time, and Johnston was dribbling the ball out at half court. What was the thought process there of not bringing your girls out with 1:40 and being down, and finishing the half?
Yeah, I told his coach asked right away, and I said, we're down 8. If we go down 8 in the second to the halftime, we're doing what we're supposed to do. So I told us hold off as long as we can, just keep them back there. At that point, my mentality was, they know they're struggling to score, and I think the doubt started to come into them, and that's why, because you haven't seen Chad do that since I've been coaching down and pull the ball out and go to a 5-out stall game. So I felt really good about what we were doing defensively, and I think they were to the point where, shots aren't falling. They're doing a pretty good job defensively, and things worked out the way they were supposed to there. We got a nice stop there at the end, and things happened.
You end up getting the turnover, which it did come off and pay off for your girls. But then talk about, Ava Zedeker. She's been rock solid all year, and she was trying her heart out there, but finished the game with 2 points. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to Riley and how Riley played her, and really just didn't give her much room to score. But talk about Ava and her preparation for this game.
Yeah, she was locked in. She really was. And, Riley's a good defender. She's strong, and that's where Ava needs to take the next step, is being able to get by a stronger defender. But you know what? I think we end up with 8 turnovers today. I don't know what Ava ends up with, but my God, if you can do that for 32 minutes against that kind of defensive pressure for throughout the game, you're doing something right. Ava she's to the point where she wants the ball in her hands. And she's going to learn from this game, and she'll look at it, she'll watch it, and she'll figure out what I could have done differently in terms of what from her game. But she handled the ball. She played pretty good defense. She had a couple breakdowns there, at times. But, overall, as a freshman point guard on the 5A basketball team, she came through for us.
So she had 0 turnovers in the game, and to your point, she was hounded by Riley throughout the game, and just to see what more she can give is being only a freshman and seeing how much more she can grow and how much more she can learn from this. And I think that's what yourself and Coach Meyer will just do a great job in saying, where's your game at right now, and where's areas that we can help you develop in the situation. Because here's the deal, and what people are going to learn. she's going to find the best defenders on every team is going to be guarding her. And she's only going to get better from nights like, or days like this.
Yeah, she is. She will watch tape and she will learn on her own, and she'll come through this next 6 months and she'll do what she needs to do to take the next step. I have no doubt about that. But you know what program's in great hands for 3 years with her running at the point. I mean, she can handle the ball. She's a great distributor. She really is. She can get to the basket. She can shoot the three. I mean, so she's got that dual threat there where teams have to come out and play her. So, you know, her game's only going to continue to improve.
We're visiting with Joel Danner, the assistant coach for the Dowling girls basketball team. Earlier this morning, it was Johnston knocking out Dowling 47-38 in the first round of the girls' state basketball tournament. We're about ready for game 2. City High of Iowa City taking on Pleasant Valley. And Coach Danner, before we let you go, I look back and we can't mention the seniors. And Jimmy and I talked about 8 seniors. The one that started and played the most was Emma Gipple. Obviously, I know Macy Downing played a little bit. She was one of your in the mix off the bench. But Emma set the all-time rebounding record at Dowling Catholic that was set back by Lauren Frericks. It was set back in the early 2000s, and that was a mark that I thought would never, ever. Ashley Ferguson said it. Never thought it would break. And what a year she had, what a career she had here, and chance to play maybe 2 sports in college. I know she's kind of thinking basketball or maybe basketball, softball, who knows. But what a career by Emma Gipple, who closes out her high school career here on this floor.
What a great leader for our program for 4 years. Just bought into the total Dowling program and everything Coach Meyer's been preaching for 4 years. And such a good inspiration role model for our younger girls. And they just look up to her so much. And you know, even I as a coach, the things that from her sophomore year to this year in terms of what she does on the court, in practice, getting everybody where they need to be, she's just kind of that calming force for us.
Sure.
And you know, you can't say enough good things about her.
Well, it's a good group. It was fun following it. Hard to believe this is game number 25. And it all started back in November as you made that trip to Minneapolis and did real well, and you won your first 11 games, and then all of a sudden the meat of the order, toughest conference in the state. No disrespect to these 2 teams out here playing, Pleasant Valley and City High. And you go through the wars and you come away with 6 losses during the regular season, and your 7th loss is the first round at state. So with a young group led by Emma Gipple. So
CIML's, you know, again, the best conference
absolutely
by far. I think it's well represented down here at Wells Fargo again.
5 of the 8 teams in Class 5A are CIML teams. Well, Joel, I'll let you get back to your team. Again, thanks for all you do, not only for us, but also the Dowling girls basketball program, the support you bring. You know, you're wearing a lot of hats as a teacher, now a coach, as a parent, and we appreciate you coming on and being a broadcaster. If Cataldo wants to go back to the football booth, which he will, feel free to pull up a headset. We'll have you a mic next year. We'll just do that.
Yeah, get a mic. There you go. Thank you, you guys on Iowa Catholic Radio, yourselves, and just there's not many programs that get the radio, the media exposure that Dowling Catholic does. So it's much appreciated. It really is.
You're most welcome, and it's a tough group of girls back there, Coach, and wish them well. Coach them up, and we'll see you next fall. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Assistant Coach Joel Danner. He's in the all-coaches league for me, and we appreciate all he does for us. And, Jimmy, that's going to wrap things up as game number 2 is about ready to start. I get along with the officials, unlike some of the coaches here. Congratulations. Jimmy, any final thoughts before we wrap this up? I know we don't want to go back to programming.
Just a lot of credit to this group of girls who just a tight group, and to see it all end today for them. Obviously, you feel for them, but a lot of things are going to come out really, really good from this, and the brighter days to come, of course, as they have a young team, but certainly the seniors, they had a hell of a career. So congratulations to them as they move on to the next endeavor.
All right, Jimmy, thanks for all you do and sitting in this during this girls' season. Appreciate that. And we'll maybe see you down in Enola tomorrow night. The Dowling boys will be in action tomorrow night to maybe punch their ticket for a state tournament next week. But best of luck, and thank you.
Thank you.
Jimmy Cataldo, my broadcast partner. That'll wrap it up from Wells Fargo Arena. I want to say a bunch of thank yous to the folks at Dowling. Athletic Director Tom Wilson and all the staff there, Matt Maynard, the principal, Dr. Dan Ryan, the president. Appreciate their support all season long. And, of course, the people behind the scenes, Michael Connor, Colleen Webb in the Dowling Athletic Office, and Michelle Jamison and Dola Osaga in the IT office. They do a tremendous job in helping us get plugged in every Friday and Tuesday night here on Iowa Catholic Radio with the home games. Our thanks to back at the studio, Jimmy Olson, Deacon Tony Valdez today, Jeff Piggott, Brady Grimm. Appreciate all their help throughout the years, our studio producers, and, of course, our business underwriters and supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. Thank them for all they do in supporting us. And, hey, if you're out there and you walk into their business, let them know you heard the game on Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Ashworth Vision Clinic, Dental Associates, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. We thank them as they've done a great job supporting us all year long. Our thanks to the folks at Johnston High School, including their athletic director, who is now going to be at Norwalk next year, Josh Toby. Congratulations to Josh. And, of course, head coach Chad Jellick, the Johnston girls basketball coach. Appreciate everything he does. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow night as the Dowling boys try to punch their ticket to the boys state basketball tournament. Dowling taking on Johnston boys for the third time this year. And we'll have all the action from Indianola High School. Be on the air at 6:45, tip-off 7 o'clock. Steve DeVinny will join me for the broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio tomorrow night. For Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. Thanks for listening this morning to our coverage of the girls state basketball tournament. Once again, the final score for the final time, Johnston 47, Dowling Catholic 38. The Maroons were led by Marin Hellers, 13 points, Emma Gipple with 12, Julia Moore 6 points, 5 points for Lauren Frericks, and 2 points for Ava Zediker. For Johnston, they were led by Anna Gosling's 19 points, 11 points for Aaliyah Riley, and 10 points for Jada Jimphy. 3 points for Zoe Buchan, 2 points for Emma Hampton, and 2 points for Isabella Balsley. The Dragons improved their record to 24-0. Dowling closes out their season with a record of 18-7. And again, the final, Johnston 47, Dowling Catholic 38. For Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. For Jimmy Olson, we'll return to regular programming here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Until then, have a safe and blessed, faith-filled day.
Our coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. Thank you for supporting the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.